Hacksaw.
Chargers play Kansas City Sunday night. This is kind of a crossroads game. Chargers are in real trouble. A good piece of news on Thursday. I saw the video before we started our podcast. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams ran all the routes they needed to run in practice at full speed, the explosiveness, etc. Keenan Allen has played the part of the first game, and he played one quarter of a game about week 6 or 7, and has not been able to play because he's keep having setbacks. It looks as if he's ready to go. So now the burning question, does he hold up? Mike Williams ran all his routes. He, of course, had a significant ankle injury. He looks like he's ready to go. So for the first time in a while, Justin Herbert looks like he might have top receiver 1 and top receiver 2 when they play the Chiefs on Sunday night. We don't know about the tight end Gerald Everett yet. Now, defensively, it's a disaster. No Joey Bosa. Then they lost the defensive tackle, Austin Johnson. Then they released number 1 draft pick, Jerry Tillery. And then they lost 2 of their younger defensive linemen for the year this past weekend. So they are a mess. And here comes Kansas City. Now, Kansas City's a little bit dinged up. They got wide receiver problems. Guys not practicing this week, but we'll see by Sunday night whether or not these wide receivers, Juju Smith and Marquez Scantling, can play. But Kansas City walks in the front door, John. Get these stats. They're averaging 423 yards per game. Patrick Mahomes, 51% conversion rate on third downs. Patrick Mahomes, 67 completion percentage rate. They've scored 34 touchdowns in half a season. They're just blowing people away. That's a really, really good football team. And the Chargers, at this point, they have to win to retain their hopes of being in the wild card race. Because if they lose and they drop to 5-5, and then they go back out on the road again, and they still got to play Seattle. They still got to play Aaron Rodgers. And they still have to play Tua in Miami. If the Chargers lose here, they'll be 3 games back at Kansas City, and they won't even be in the hunt for a wild card spot with a chunk of games still to be played. So they got problems.
Don't you think that the Chargers are just like wasting Justin Herbert's career? I mean, this is another season with lots of injuries. This guy's loaded with talent, but it just seems like everything's crumbling around him.
Well, their roster on paper, fabulous. But the game's not played on paper. Game's played on people, and it's played on the field. And what's on paper? The names on the injury list. Last week, John, they had 9 starters that were down, either already on the injured list or got hurt in the game last week in San Francisco. So, I mean, they're just cursed. There's a black cloud of injury. We really need a Santa Ana win to roll into Orange County, into Costa Mesa, and blow this black cloud of injuries away from the Chargers, because it's just been exceptional.